is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Dude, let's go. Let's get it done. Let's talk a little football. Michelle Kaufman gets to talk about an entertaining team. Michelle, we used to actually use InterMiami as the cure for insomnia. So when somebody was struggling with that, we just put on an Inter game from the first 2 years and they'd come right away, right? And even the first couple of games this year with old man, Geritol on the field. So now we're watching this youth, this inexperience, this speed that sometimes they'll run into fouls, but they're so damn fast they'll run into fouls. But you kind of like it, but it's just a lot of fun what I'm watching now, Michelle.
Yeah, it's definitely a different looking team. I mean, I have to say, I did feel sorry. I don't think the fans should have booed Higuain yesterday. I thought that was pretty classless, to be honest. The guy's struggling. Obviously, the team is much better without him. And it was extremely classy of Leo Campana, which I tweeted out immediately. And then Phil Neville mentioned it right away in his press conference. Leo Campana, when he was coming off the field and the fans were booing for Gonzalo to come in, he was like, no, 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 no. He was wagging his finger at the fans and shaking his head like, do not do this. This guy's a legend. He's a guy who's had a great career. You don't boo him. And then he went over.
The problem is he's not our legend.
Right.
He didn't do all the things he did here. And then I think also fans over the last couple of years have kind of tired on his act.
No, I know. Yeah, he has a negative act, the whole negative, all the negative body language, the histrionics, all of that stuff. No, I get all that.
I saw karma.
It was still kind of rude. I just think it was still kind of rude to boo the guy, but whatever. Campana gave him a big hug.
By the way, did you see the Yankee fans this weekend?
Oh, I know. Fans boo. Yes.
No. They didn't just boo. They pelted people with crap from the stands. I don't know if you saw that. So that's, fans. So what do you
fans? That's fans. But no, the team, Campana has turned out to be, he's on loan from Wolves with option to buy. And I am sure they are already trying to figure out, let's buy this guy right now because he loves Miami. He already has a family home in Key Biscayne. He's living in Key Biscayne. He's been coming here since he was a little boy. His family has had a vacation house in Miami since he was a little kid. So he views Miami as his second home. He always has. He loves Miami. He wants to be here. And the guy is playing amazing. He has scored 5 goals in the last 4 games. He's involved in almost all of the goals that they've scored this year. He's either scored or had the assist. And, the assist he gave yesterday for the game-winning goal by Bryce Duke was really beautiful, too. It was very unselfish. He could have easily taken the shot, but he saw that Bryce Duke was just wide open and just, gave it to him.
And he also was patient. He waited for the right moment to make it super easy for Duke to score.
Yeah, and the big thing that you're seeing with Gonzalo not in the lineup is that earlier in the season, there's a stat among the many stats that they give us is, how many total shots, how many shots on frame, and then how many shots from inside the box versus outside the box. When Gonzalo was playing, even if they would have 20 shots, like 15 of them would be from outside the box. The vast majority were just long-range shots. Now, the last few games where they're winning, almost all the shots. Yesterday, they had, I think, like 4 shots, and 3 were inside the box. They are shooting from very close range now, which is what the other teams typically did. The Miami team always seemed to be shooting from outside the box, and that's partly because Gonzalo
slow
would drift back. Phil had always said from day one he wanted him in the box. He kept telling him, stay in the box. That's where we want you. But he would drift back because he didn't trust his teammates to create for him. So he would drift back, and then he couldn't get back forward fast enough. So it's a dilemma. It's a problem when he's in there. It slows the game down. They're not shooting as much from close range. So with him out of the picture, and with Campana, just,
ringing the bell. Ringing the bell.
Yes, he's
Campana
bringing.
ringing the bell.
I was saying that the fans should start bringing bells and ring bells every time he scores.
Every time, and we should. Is it Amy Stewart? Or no, it's Ring My Bell is Anita
Oh, the
Ward.
song "Ring My Bell."
Anita Ward. They need to
Anita
jam,
Ward.
They need
Yeah.
to jam a little Ring My Bell there.
Ring My Bell. There you
know?
go. Start a thing. I think we should start a thing with the bells.
We have to start a thing. I mean, he's the Campana man.
Although Phil kept calling him Campagna, and I keep reminding him that there's no Enya.
Yeah.
There's no Enya. I said to him, it's like banana, it's like Havana, Campana. There's no Enya.
Yeah. Does he know it's Bell? Does he know
it's Bell? I did also tell him it's Bell. Yes.
Okay. All right. And listen, the other thing Campana's doing, he finishes.
Defending. He's defending.
Yeah, but he finishes.
Oh, yes.
Which is what Higuain did not do enough. That there were so many times.
They would go high. They would go wide. They would go everywhere. Yeah. He finishes. By the way, my husband, Dave, who's sitting behind me, says that I should give you some crap for only having me on now that the team is winning. He said you're jumping on the bandwagon.
No, that's not true. I've had Panizo on too.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I've rotated.
He just didn't have me on every week. Okay, he's sharing the love. I see.
No,
okay.
And remember, I asked you a couple weeks ago and you couldn't be on. So I had to have Panizo again.
Okay, all right.
So no.
You're cheating on me. You're cheating on my Orlando.
No. Last year I rotated with you, Panizo, and what's it called? What's her name now? Now I'm forgetting. Alex Winley.
Oh, Alex Winley. Okay.
She does a terrific job, man. She's really good, man. So yeah, no,
okay. All right, good. We're just, Dave wants to just give you a little.
No, it's all right. Hey, Dave can bust my balls anytime. It's all good. Plus, he's been doing it in this town, busting balls for many, many years now. So yes, that's his thing, man. Come on, killing the Doids back in the day in Orlando. Oh yeah. That's
anyway, but no, it's fun. The team has had a complete turnaround. I mean, it's funny because this league, it's so early in the season. The league has so much parity. You can go in 2 weeks span, right now in this, you can go from last place to 8th place. And then if they win one more game, they can be in 4th place. You know what I mean? So right now they're still, while, it seemed at the beginning they had 5 games without a win, it was spiraling and everybody was, freaking out. But the truth is right now they're right in the middle of the mix. They're in the middle of the mix.
By the way, it's Lassiter, it's Yedlin, it's Mars.
Lassiter and Yedlin are both great playmakers. They really are. They're doing a lot. They have so much speed. You mentioned the speed. Lassiter has blazing speed. Yedlin has really good speed. Robbie Robinson has speed. Campana, and then you've got when Emerson comes in. Have you been watching Emerson come in?
I have, but I laughed because Robbie was a little petulant yesterday.
He didn't want to come out well,
and he sat there and he was, all this and that, and it's like I'm looking at Robbie like, yo, dude, you haven't really displayed what you're supposed to be, so don't expect them to treat you like a star when you haven't played. Look at Campana. In 1 month, he's done more than you have already in 3 years. He's already become the lead guy, and it's like there's too much mama's boy in him, is what I see almost with him. You know what I mean? There's not enough son of a bitch in that kid.
Right. Well, the fact that he's angry that he came out, that's probably a good thing that he's got some, he's got some anger. He wants to play. So there's that. Better that he wants to play than he's sitting out with injuries.
No, I don't want him to go Ben Simmons on me. I get you, but still, it's like, understand your place. I get it. You're the first round pick, but dude, you haven't played up to it yet. So they can do these kind of things to you. Expect it. Go out there and make your coach's job impossible by absolutely kicking ass and being so valuable. Look, you were just
that's what Phil was just saying. He has used the word now twice in 2 press conferences in a row. He said Campana is undroppable.
Exactly.
Undroppable. He's like, you cannot drop this guy from your lineup, period. No matter who else is there on the bench, you cannot drop that guy.
What did you just say? And when I was asking you, you started to go off on his defense which I wasn't even going to talk about that at the moment, but it's so true. So if you have a guy that is leading your team in goal scoring, is a threat, and is helping you on defense, he has become so valuable. And that's the thing that I don't think Robbie still understands, that he still has a level of inconsistency in his game, that this is why you will go to the bench. But if you don't want to go to the bench, then make Neville's job impossible by going out there and being an impossible player to put on the bench. That's what you got to do. And that's the part that I think there's too much entitlement that oozes out of Robbie Robinson, and not enough going out there and earning it. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the elephant in the room. What the hell happened yesterday with that injury? How much was it real? How much was it Memorex? How much is it maybe now are they going to cast him aside for the rest of the season? Because I was telling my wife yesterday while we were watching, I go, I wouldn't bring that guy in unless they're losing by 1 in the 84th minute, and then I'll bring him in. And they brought him in the 82nd minute, I think it was. And I told her 84th minute and they're trailing. They were winning, and I was shocked that they brought him in. But I understood because Campana's done so much in the last couple of weeks, especially with the Miami FC game.
No, he played a lot. He played like 96 minutes, 98 minutes. Yeah.
I know. So where do we go from this?
Well,
because he can't play. You can't have him on the pitch. You can't.
I know. It's kind of sad. I mean, in these situations, this is where athletes need to know when the game has passed you by, and you just can't. Otherwise, you become, it's tough. I mean, Phil said yesterday, he said, look, the train is full of guys that are going 90 miles an hour, and you need to jump on the train. He said Gonzalo needs to jump on the train with the guys going 90 miles an hour, or he's going to be left at the station. Those were his exact words. And the thing is, you see him when he went out there, even if in his mind, I really do believe that in his mind, he thinks that he can still go out there and play and compete and do everything. But when he goes out there, he looks older and slower than the other guys on the field. He just does. And then he got that injury. He goes down. He's out there for just a few minutes, and he goes down, and they have to come out and treat him. And then he's limping up. And then I thought, okay, well, that's it. He's just going to come out. But then he was determined to stay in the game, but he was limping bad. I mean, he was limping bad. And then after the game, as soon as the final whistle blew, the second the final whistle blew, he fell down to the ground and sat there for the longest time while the rest of the team was celebrating whatever. He was sitting on the ground. The trainers went back out there to him. They were rubbing his legs and all that. And then he finally got up, and he limped badly toward the fans and clapped for them, even though they booed for him. And then he went over and got hugs from his family and from his wife and daughter, whatever. He looked bad after that game. I mean, I do wonder now, is he going to, I don't know how bad the injury is. I don't know what the injury is. I have to try to find out exactly what are they saying the injury is, or what is he saying the injury is. But I don't know. I mean, you think he's going to be healthy to go this Saturday to New England, looking how he looked yesterday?
Hey, they were willing to lie about DPs. Just lie that he's out for the season.
I don't know. Maybe at some point the problem is if he announces, that's it, I'm done or whatever. I mean, he's making $6 million.
I'm not feeling that sorry for the dude, man. I'm
talking about the team. The team would have to pay him $6 million not to play. That's a lot of money not to play.
Basically, they're paying him $6 million not to play.
I know. I guess they want to win. Look, the bottom line is they want to win. They have two choices: win or make Gonzalo happy. They want to win. Win.
And here's the other thing that I'm going to tell you, Michelle. Okay, obviously, Chris Henderson has made some kind of an impact already, because we see the young guys he's brought in. So we saw what the Heat has done with their young guys, right? And you see that what Jeter and company, I know they haven't spent money. I know Jeter's gone, but they've developed a whole bunch of young guys now on that team that, they've got some kind of a future, especially on the pitching side. So wouldn't you feel better to put this guy on an IR and that spot go to possibly another young guy that Chris Henderson can find and maybe fits what they do here. And it's about winning. And the beauty about Neville, when he said about the 90-mile-an-hour thing, this is not his guy. He didn't pick him.
No,
He
no,
doesn't
he
have
didn't
to,
pick him.
he didn't have
No.
to be. He doesn't have to be tied to him, so he can cast him aside. And that's Moss's and Beckham's problem that they have to pay him. But if you're Phil Neville, man, what you really want is to move away from this guy because he is nothing of what is on the pitch right now. He doesn't fit what you do whatsoever.
Right. Well, the other thing is, not only does he not fit tactically, physically, he can't. He physically cannot do what he would be asked to do. I don't think he can physically do it at this point. The style of his game is not, it does not fit with what they're doing, with all the running that they're doing and all that. The other thing is, just from my observations and from my conversations with people that are inside the club, he has a negative influence. He has a negative influence over teammates. All of his complaining and bitching and always seeming like he's not satisfied with his teammates, it makes them play tentative. It makes them play scared. It makes them negative. He doesn't bring positive energy. That's the thing. Even if you're an aging legend and you've lost your legs a little bit, whatever, if you are a positive influence, like his brother Fede was considered like the locker room leader, like the most positive guy, a teacher, a guy who would, help the other guys, support the other guys, cheer for the other guys, whether he was playing or not or whatever. That is not Gonzalo. Gonzalo has a different personality, and he is very moody, and he's kind of a downer. He's kind of a negative downer kind of guy. And that's not what they need. Right now, they need all the positive energy that they can get. And when he comes in, it's kind of like a wah-wah, those wah-wah people. Yeah. He's a little bit like that. And so there's kind of a letdown. And, I know that's why when they brought him on and the fans were booing, I mean, that just kind of said it all. Like, no, we don't want you. Like, no, thank you. Stay on the bench. It was sad. I did feel for him as a human being. As a human being, I felt bad for him. I did.
Yeah, but think about it. All those fans are paying money, and a lot of them probably have been paying money the last couple of years, so they've watched this already, and they're tired of it. And they know he makes $6 million, and they know he can't play, and they know he can't fit with what they do. And so it's so obvious to everyone out there, man. And at one point, you just have to take the L. And whether it's Moss or Beckham, or somebody has to sit down and say with him, hey, man, we made a mistake here. You don't fit. We're going to pay you your check, and enjoy the rest of the year off, and that's it. We have to move on. Now, the question I have for you is the most important question of them all, because I don't know I don't know 98% of the rules in the damn MLS. Is there an IR, and does that open up a slot, or because he's a DP, does that affect a roster spot? I'm not saying that to go add another DP. I'm just saying for a roster spot. So if you're able to put him on some kind of a injury list or something, they
don't really have they don't have like an IR.
Like I said, I don't know the rule.
Yeah, they don't really have, there are guys that spend the whole season injured, or, much of the season injured, and they don't gain a spot. They don't gain a spot.
Wow. All right. So then they got to carry him like dead weight for the rest of the year. That's what it is.
They could buy out his contract. I mean, there is the option to buy out his contract. You can do that.
Okay. So then that would open up a roster spot.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then maybe that would be the whole, but he's going to hold out for all the money. That's probably what he's going to do.
Yeah. Cause that was the deal with, the whole thing with Blaise Matuidi.
Right.
That was a similar situation where he just didn't fit in the plans. They told him they didn't fit in the plans, but he still had a contract. So they had to, negotiate how to remove him from the roster while also paying him.
Right. No, I'm with you there. That's great. All right. What are you working on the Herald so folks can check you out?
Well, let's see. Isaiah Wan just declared for the NBA draft, but leaving open, he's not going to hire an agent, leaving the option open, which he did a year ago. He went and tested the NBA. They told him that they didn't think he'd be drafted or whatever. He ended up coming back. So, we'll see. I mean, Coach L is recruiting heavy. They just got this guy, the Kansas State transfer, number 2 transfer on the transfer portal. and he got an $800,000, well, valued at or estimated to be $800,000 NIL deal from Mr. John Ruiz, Nigel Pack.
Yes. Tell me about the Cavender twins.
I knew you. How did I know you were going to ask about the Cavender twins?
That? They look like the Holly Rillinger twins, actually.
Are you asking about them because of their excellent basketball skills or because of the 4 million TikTok followers or combination?
Everything. NIL, TikTok, basketball players. They got the whole package, actually.
They are the most famous, among the most famous college basketball players in the country. They have 4 million with an M, 4 million TikTok followers, and each one has 400,000 Instagram followers. They have up to, it's been estimated by Forbes and some other things, up to $1 million or close to $1 million in NIL deals. Crazy. Already. They've been on billboards in Times Square. The thing is, they're good basketball players. Basketball players, especially one of them. One of them was first team. I think she was actually player of the year of the conference. Or definitely first team Mountain West at Fresno State. So, they're both shooters. They're both, they're both like kind of, according to Katie Meyer, they're like gym rats who like to shoot all the time. And she thinks they're going to really help the team a lot on the court. But let's face it, they're also going to help the attention off the court. It's just, that's the way it is. I wish that they got as much attention for the basketball.
I can see the male demographic on campus showing up to games, if you know what I mean. So I'm just saying.
I do know what you mean. I wish that their basketball was at least. I wish that the interest in them as a woman, having watched female athletes toil in obscurity for so long, for 35 years of my career, I do wish that they would be known at least equally for their basketball as for all of the off-court stuff. But
they have to do that. You can't blame them for that.
No. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. And, if people aren't going to pay attention to women's basketball for women's basketball itself, they have to do a sideshow to get the attention. And I guess the goal from Katie's perspective and from the university is, once they get people there, maybe they will see that they like the product and that they'll like the team and they'll jump on the bandwagon and whatever. And it'll help the team. If they have more fans in the stands, it will bring energy to the building, which should help the team win more games. So, you want people in the stands, and these two players are going to get more people in the stands. They are.
No, I'm with you. There's no doubt about it. And I think that's an important thing for women's basketball. And it's nice to see that the NIL situation is helping the men's and women's basketball programs.
It's helping women a lot nationally. I actually did a story last year that there were a lot of experts who felt that women stood to gain, that the female athletes stood to gain even more, because the male athletes, a lot of them are going to turn pro anyway, and they're going to make money. In the women's sports, most of them, college is it. It's going to end after college. And so this is their chance to make some money and to capitalize. And so, whether it's hair care products, beauty products, athletic gear, whatever, it's a chance for women to make some money as athletes, because they're not going to get it when they're done with college.
Good for them. Follow her on Twitter at Kauf Sports, and then catch her work there at the Miami Herald as always. Michelle, thank you. Appreciate you. We will catch up down the line.
All right. Thanks for having me. Have a good week. Bye.
There you go. Thank you. The great Michelle Kaufman talking a little InterMiami Futbol. Yeah, baby. We love it.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.